Hey, I'm Justin, and in this video I'd like to share with you how I became a software engineer at Amazon and a few things I learned along the way. Personally, I took a very traditional route. I got my undergraduate in computer engineering with a focus in robotics from the University of California, Santa Cruz. Then I got my master's in computer engineering with a focus in networking and distributed systems. And shortly after that, I was able to get a full-time offer to become a software development engineer here at Amazon. Now, keep in mind, I can't guarantee if you follow these tips, you'll become a software engineer specifically at Amazon, but I definitely think that you will be able to land yourself an awesome software engineering role. A primary reason why I chose to get a master's degree was so that I could apply for new grad positions the next year. New grad software engineering roles are a great way to enter the field because you are not competing with other experienced engineers that are trying to join these larger companies. Now, this may seem very self-explanatory, but when you apply for entry-level positions that expect years of professional experience, you are definitely competing with much more experienced engineers, and that's gonna put you at a disadvantage. New grad positions have reasonable expectations, right? They expect a little bit of internship experience, some personal project, and some really good solid coding fundamentals such as data structures and algorithms. Although I chose to get two separate computer engineering degrees, I really don't think it's necessary. I think you're fully qualified with a bachelor's of science or certificate in a relevant field such as computer science, computer engineering, or web development. I think getting hired as a software engineer at Amazon or any other tech company should be seen as two different parts. The first part is landing an interview and the second part is crushing that interview. So in the first part, what's really important is your resume and application and cover letter. And of course a referral if you could. Having a relevant degree, solid internship experience, or unique personal project will really help with that. I recommend having your resume reviewed by friends or even recruiters to make sure that it's concise and effective. After that, if you get reached out for an interview, you should feel confident that you are qualified for that position. Now, the second step to getting a job or any software engineering position is the coding interview. To do this well, you need to accurately gauge your ability to solve data structures and algorithms problems. The language that you choose to code in really doesn't matter. It could be Java, JavaScript, or Python, or C. I'd recommend practicing these coding problems in the language that you are most comfortable with so that you really focus on the algorithms themselves and not really the syntax. A great place to learn and practice these coding problems is LeetCode.com, and you can also use Geeks for Geeks for reference to get detailed explanation. Most Amazon engineers that are hired can confidently solve 100 to 200 of these problems on the spot within 20 to 30 minutes. A book that is commonly recommended to preparing for these interviews is Cracking the Coding Interview. I personally haven't read it, but I've heard great things about it. So I started the interview process in fall 2018 and started my job in 2019. I personally cannot talk about the current interview process, but I can talk about my past experience. The interview process was really divided into three separate parts. The first part was an online assessment that you're given about 24 hours to complete. That's going to be a few coding debugging problems and pattern matching and logic-based questions. It's a short little test that you just have to do online. The next part is an automated interview that you do online that I think you have about 7 days to complete, but I think you're only given a few hours to do the interview once you start it. The first part of that interview is a work simulation, which I think is unique to Amazon. This work simulation asks you what you would do in different situations, such as if you have to solve a customer-facing bug versus working on a new feature release, which one would you do first? Dealing with a bad coworker. They really just want to test how you prioritize things and how you would work with a team. And of course, the second part of that is you're given 2 to 3 coding problems where you're given probably about 30 minutes to solve each problem. After those automated interviews, you make it to the in-person interview. The in-person interview is likely going to be over a video call. Even in fall 2018, my interview was over a video call pre-COVID, and of course during COVID, it's definitely going to be a video call. In that video call, you'll be asked a few questions about yourself and to solve 2 to 3 problems in front of them and just talk about your process and how you work through these problems. If you pass that round of the interview, you'll definitely get an offer in a few days or to a week. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate the support on my last video, and feel free to message me on Instagram or ask any questions in the comments below. Thanks, bye.